can agree. Proverbs 21. We're still dealing with family, friends, fidelity. And most of you know that Solomon is given a lot of credit for having written a lot of what's in Proverbs, and of course Ecclesiastes and some other material. In fact, I'm going to ask in your spare time, get another translation other than King James and read the first 3 chapters of Ecclesiastes. In fact, if you can, get a translation that talks like we do today. Okay? I think you'll be kind of surprised. And it hopefully will open your understanding even more. You know, usually Ecclesiastes, you know, you get some of that at funerals. I mean, you do, you know. That's one of the go-to books. But really, Ecclesiastes is about life, living. It really is. Well, really, all of it is about living here. Living here. Living where the Creator created for you to live. All of it. But because of the way most of us learned, it's like you're living, most of us, a lot of us are in a hurry to get out of here for whatever reason. And for whatever reason, we don't want to use what He gave us to live here. A lot of us like to spend time in the ethereal and the, anywhere but Earth, I guess. Don't know how you do that, but a lot of us spend a lot of time, I guess, living in the different realms of what we call heaven. And that has cost a lot of us a lot. It has definitely affected our decision-making while here on earth. We've made some bad decisions, and some of us are going to ride them out come hell or high water. And you can do that. You can do that. But I would ask you, why are you doing that? Are you trying to project that I don't make mistakes? You know, everything I do because I follow the Lord so closely, I almost can't make a mistake. That is a mistake. That kind of thinking is a mistake. In fact, that's not even thinking. That's something that you were told and you incorporated it in what you call your faith. And it's crippling us. It's crippling what we call the church. Folks, we've got to start making better decisions. the world, as we like to talk about it, they are looking for someone that has some answers. And that should be the believers. This is an opportunity for us to show that there's a little more to what we've been doing all these many years, for however long you've been in the way. Now is when people are looking for someone of substance. And I'm not talking about of riches. I'm talking about someone that has substance in life. People are suffering. Pastor Hodge was saying they got a family, or a couple of families coming next week. And he already told us. He said, hey, man, I think they got some needs. Well, there are people sitting in here that's got needs too. I think it's wonderful what they're doing. In fact, I think he'll be speaking next week, so y'all won't have to hear me, and that's fine because I'm not in love with my voice either. But listen, what I'm getting at is more of this sort of thing is going to be happening, and are you ready? Or are we still, as supposedly the Church of the Living God, are we still so caught up in our mess that we can't help anybody else? Are we still keeping our schedule and we don't measure what we do? And you know why we don't measure what we do? Because we don't really want to know how well we're doing. It's easier for us to just continue doing the stuff that we were taught. Be good little boys, be good little girls, and everything's going to be all right. People are dying. We got to do better, saints. I said we. I didn't say you. I said we got to do better. I am not a you preacher. You all know that. In fact, I'm not a preacher. You all know that too. And if you don't, you heard it here. I'm just somebody that tough times are coming. This isn't a fear message. This is an informing message. A lot of things that we've been taught to, don't worry about that. God will take care of that. Don't worry about, listen. We all know the Creator himself said what? I have, that's almost past tense. That's almost past tense. I have given you everything pertaining to life and godliness. Now, I don't care what language, Hebrew, Swahili, everything means everything. You are equipped with everything you need to be successful in life. And again, when I say successful, I'm not just talking about monetarily. Your quality of life quality of life should be such that people want to know, what is this with you? People want to be around you, not see you and go the other way. People want to know what you think about whatever. Why? Let me read. I'm not going to read out of the King James. I know I usually do, and you know, you can follow along, but I'm going to read out of another translation. And there's nothing wrong with King James. I just, I came up under that, you know. It's okay, but that's just one translation. Given here, and this one isn't perfect either, so I'm going to insert, because we like to use the term Yahweh here. But they have something else. But I tell you, I mean, I know everybody's got a King James, but I would encourage you to buy you a Bible that you can understand. And I'm not taking pot shots at anybody. Get you a Bible that you can understand. Because when you're asked a question, if you don't understand it yourself, only thing you can do is repeat it back, repeat a verse back. But then if they ask you, well, what does that verse mean? Now, here we go with because some of our explanations, and now I'm talking about myself, some of the stuff that I just accepted as explanations, now that I've gone back and started looking, I was like, that's the stupidest stuff I ever heard. And I believed it. I accepted it. I didn't question it. But I'm not going to say this is a new day. This is a different day. These are different times. Folks, you got to know stuff for real. Listen, I've told you before, a minor bird can repeat some of the very same things you say, but they don't have comprehension. I shared this with my dad some time ago. I didn't know this. I found out that the scribes, many of the scribes were illiterate. That's what I said. Now, I'm not talking against them. Yes, they had the ability to copy, but they didn't know what they were copying. I didn't say all of them, okay? I'm not saying that, but I was shocked. See, again, a minor bird can repeat what it hears, but it doesn't understand what it's saying. Some scribes could write the letters, they could copy. They were the Xerox machines of that day, so to speak. But some of them didn't know what they were copying. I also found out early on it was the church of that day that really first learned how to read. See, only the wealthy, and I was like, wow, really? I mean, it is fascinating And it's a real eye-opener. And now I'm beginning to see why we have so many different beliefs. There were a lot of meetings held. And mostly it was men doing this. They would convene and they would decide, well, this will be good, that'll be good. Did anybody consult the Most High? It's just something to think about. And again, a lot of the things that they decided is in a lot of foundational structure in churches. And I mean, y'all will stone me. I'm not even going to go there. Read it for yourself, saints. Study it for yourself. It's alarming, but yet it's kind of liberating too. Give an ear. The king's heart in Yah's hand is like streams of water. He directs it wherever he pleases. Now that he should have been capitalized, but they had it, But then again, no, maybe not. See, I got that because that's how the so-called scholars said, well, when you're talking about the Most High, you make everything capital. That was something they came up with. So the way he wrote it is the way he wrote it. Listen at this one. All a person's ways are right in his own view. And that's so true about all of us. All of us think that. But Yah weighs the heart. To do what is right and just is more pleasing to Yah than sacrifice. And I've said this over the years. I said, many of us are living a life of sacrifice. And we're, Lord, I'm willing to do this and do that. Barry, I didn't ask you to do all of that. Take my name out, put your name in there. See, because a lot of us are doing stuff. He didn't ask us to do all of that. We get in a situation, we messed up. Oh, well, now I got to fix it. And then we turn around and get deeper. Jump out the frying pan into the fire. We think we fixing it. We've given counsel like that. And people are suffering today. To do what is right and just is more pleasing to Yah than sacrifice. I mean, man, some of us, I'll go to China. Go make peace with your neighbor. Oh, I ain't talking to them. I mean, really. But you'll go to China. You know why you want to go to China? Because that looks good on your so-called resume. But to go next door and apologize for whatever went down, or even if you weren't the one that started it. Well, I didn't do wrong. They should apologize to me. Well, Listen to 4. Haughty looks, a proud heart. What the wicked plow is sin. Any of you all ever done a word study on sin? Just asking, you don't have to answer, just ponder it. You might want to look that up too. Listen to this. Now this is really good. The plans, what did I say? The plans of the diligent lead only to abundance. Plans, not making it up as you go. The plans of the diligent lead only to abundance. But listen to this. But all who rush in arrive only at want. We're some emotional people. Now I'm talking about saints. And that covers all colors and spectrums and people. A lot of us have made big decisions emotionally. You're not mad all the time. You're not happy all the time. Why would you make such an important decision when you're feeling that way? Either way. Some of us make commitments when we're really angry. Don't do that. Some of us make commitments when we're really happy. Don't do that either. You might not feel the same way 3 days from now. Oh, yeah, I can show you a film, get you all worked up. Oh, man, yeah, I'll pledge $1,000. Get up the next day and all 4 of your tires flat. Oh, man. Well, he'll understand. And most of the time, other believers would understand. But, I come back to, why did you get up and say, I'll give $1,000? Why? Because I showed you a film that was designed to pull at your heart? Folks, we've been set up so much. Is it wrong to give? No. But we manipulate. There's a lot of manipulation going on in the house of the Most High, and we shouldn't do that. But see, for some of us, that's the only way we think we can get ahead. This next one. A fortune gained by a lying tongue is vapor dispersed by seekers of death. Now, a lot of business people need to hear that. Now, it doesn't say that like that in the King James. Again, I'm not throwing rocks. But this is pretty plain. And you can pretty much understand that. See, the ends does not justify the means. I don't care how bad you think you deserve something. If you obtain it in a less than desirable fashion, you might not get to keep it, and you might not get to enjoy it. And it could leave you at any time. So you're not resting as easy. But if you know you got it and it was above board, you don't worry about it. You know, guys that are making a fortune illegally, they don't really get to enjoy that. You know, you ain't working nowhere and you riding around in a Rolls Royce. You know you're going to get stopped. Constantly cheating on your taxes. It's just a matter of time. And they really going to chomp down on the taxes soon. So, I mean, if you've hired an accountant, make sure they're above board that what they're doing, because some of them guys say, oh, yeah, I'll go in there with you. No, they won't. Some of them won't. And if it's your taxes, guess what? It's your behind on the line. So you better be dealing with reputable people in that realm. See, all of this is tied in. All of this is tied in to what I'll say is, do you have any core values? Do you have any core values? See, a lot of believers, I don't know whether they do or not. I know I do. Core values are what you live by. Core values are what determine how you choose. See, that's how you can make bad choices and bad decisions. You have no core values. Or if you have them, you don't use them, because core values, when tested, if you don't fall back on your core values, they're nothing but hobbies. That's something for you to stand up and say, well, yes, I'm a man of integrity. I this, and all of that sounds good. Well, why do you make such bad decisions? See, that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. Are you saying, Barry, a person with core values will never make a mistake? No, I am not, because everybody can be deceived and tricked. And many of us have been and are being. You also, if you have core values, you're not easily swayed with whatever's on the news. You don't let people change the narrative and get you off on a tangent that's got nothing to do with what's really happening. Translation, you're not stupid. Folks, the narrative is constantly being changed. If we're talking about apples, we're talking about apples. We're not talking about tomatoes. Don't let somebody get you off on tomatoes when you're talking about apples. Stick to this subject matter. But when you lack core values, you're easy to manipulate that way. Oh, boy. Proverbs is full of not just wisdom, but see, Proverbs will help you today. Today. Why? Because it's dealing with earthly matters. And Proverbs is more than just the wisdom of Solomon. Because where did Solomon get his wisdom from? The one that made him. So, maybe you get a little tired. I wish he'd get on something else. Well, I just threw out Ecclesiastes. For those of you that are bored. And while you're bored, be careful because you might get a B-O-A-R-D upside the back of your head. While you're B-O-R-E-D. They're pronounced the same, but they're two different things. Listen at this. The violence of the wicked will sweep them away because they refuse to act justly. And I know sometimes you turn on the TV or you go out to a store and people just acting horrible. And sometimes you say to yourself, why don't somebody do something? And I say to you, particularly now, hold your peace. Because a lot of people's fuses is real short. They're super stressed out. And they may not take kindly to your God-fearing counsel. Now, if you know them, yeah. But if you don't, let one of the store attendants or somebody handle them. If you're in a restaurant and they're being unruly, call your person and say, hey, can you move me over? But don't make a scene about it. Because if they see you moving, they may say something. Oh, listen to this. A criminal's conduct is crooked, but the work of the pure is right. Like I said, next week, they're going to have some families in here. Now, I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to be here. Not because I don't want to help the families. So I need to get with Pastor Hodge before I leave and leave something that he can help these people with. That's actually getting back to what we're supposed to be doing, folks. Helping people. Listen to this. It is better to live on a corner of the roof than to share the house, well, they say with a nagging wife. I didn't say that. He said it. Somebody. And this guy, Dr. Wilson autographed my copy of this, so Dr. Marvin Wilson said that. Listen to this. The wicked is set on evil. He doesn't pity even his neighbor. I was cleaning up at the bar. And it's really, well, it is a bar, but it's more of a restaurant, because I don't mind people saying, oh, man, that guy, he preached, but he in the movies every night and he in the bar every night. I don't care if they say that. Heck, somebody might decide, let me go hear this guy. Yeah, tell him. I don't care. But one of the guys that does the food preparation, we were talking, and he had been having a difficult time with some of his neighbors, and they finally got enough money saved that he could move out of that complex. And he you know, he's just so happy because he left all that stress and arguing and backbiting, and he left all of that. Now, they had to go back one time, I guess, to get some mail or something. And he said the people spoke. And I said, well, did you speak back? He said, yeah, I spoke back. And he said, I even smiled. He said, but I could smile because I knew I wasn't staying. And see, when, again, see, listen, stress is going to intensify even more. And so, particularly, you know, and I know most of you, we all now know, and I ain't here to bash what's happening now, but please, folks, don't leave your computers, camera, don't leave that stuff in your car. Don't, if you're going to leave your bag in there, put it, you know, put it out of sight. I'm telling you, I'm trying to save you some trouble here. And I'm just trying to inform you that there are going to be a lot of people that don't have. And they're not going to do like what these people are going to do next week. Come to a church, you know, allow us to share the word with them, because you know they got to do that. You know, you can't, Donnie ain't having them come in here and he ain't going to preach. And whoever sing, they going to hear me sing. They going to hear Alan play. That's how church folk are. We going to help you, but we got to do our thing first. That's the way we've been trained. Oh, I know you think so. The wicked is set on evil. He doesn't pity even his neighbor. You got to look out for your neighbor, and your neighbor need to start looking out for you. Packages are coming on people's porches. People taking packages. You do know that. You know. They taking packages. And I've told you before, ladies, whatever you got, any shopping you got to do, get it done in the daylight. Please. And don't go by yourself. Take somebody with you. Please. Hey, you worried about everything? But no, I'm just concerned. Is that all right? That's all. I just want everybody to get through this thing in one piece. That's all. Because what you're going to find, man, when times get more desperate, even decent people going to do some things they wouldn't think they would do. Now, I don't go on these, but my fella that I listen to a lot, and it's mostly about business, he was saying he's been going on those dating sites, and used to be on them dating sites, it was always 20-somethings and 30-somethings. Folks my age on that. I said, what? I said, really? And again, look, I'm not knocking it. I'm just telling you. Some folks are looking ahead. And I mean, I got kind of tickled about it, but I was like, well, you know, hey. I feel for them. That's about the best I can do. You know. But I'm looking forward to you all having a wonderful next week with these people. In fact, I know Vern get a lot of stuff, Greg's wife, from her employer. And this church disperses a lot of stuff go out in the community. And I think that's good. And, we might not, we try to get information and stuff, but see, sometimes people just they'll give you the number off the back of a bus or something, And we know that, but still, we should still give it out anyway. Still give it out anyway. I got a real blessing yesterday. I was in one of my stores. In fact, I meant to take you over to Fresh to Frozen. But I wasn't thinking. I let her get out the store. But I ran into one of our members, and I was so proud. I said, now that's somebody that's smart, that's saving money. I was really happy about that. Because I said, Father, see, Pastor, he prays for your whole being. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I mostly pray that y'all wallets have something in it. I said, And so when I see, and I've told you before, when you have to spend, please get value for your money. Although I know with this inflation going on, and y'all do understand about inflation, don't you? It's more to it than just the prices of everything going up. Listen, inflation is not good because the money that you have in your bank that you've been saving, that you're so proud of, the buying power lessens. The more dollars they print, the less value that, say you got $50,000 in there. Well, that $50,000 today might only have buying power of maybe $35,000. That's what inflation does to your money. So it does affect you whether you believe it or not, whether you receive it or not. Because some folks say, I don't receive that. Okay. Go to your bank and see if I'm not telling you the truth. Inflation's not a good thing, folks. And the quandary, and I'm not going to stay on this, but the quandary for the Federal Reserve is that they're trying to get the unemployment down, and they're trying to keep the economy stable, and they only got a couple of tools that they can use, which is print more money or raise interest rates. Now, how they going to do that? I don't know, but we're getting ready to find out real soon. Which is why I say whatever dollars you got left, if you spend them, get some value for it, please. Get back to this. And see, really all of that's tied in with what I'm reading. It's just we're talking a little different, but it's all in here. It's all in here. But we've been taught from King James, we repeat it, we get excited, and the problem's still there. But when your understanding increases, you learn how to apply it in your life today, now. That's what it's here for, now. His teachings and instructions are not just to be able to recite to impress your church leader. It's for you to use here on earth while you waiting to be transported to heaven as if it were. Head knowledge and not practical application, it's not doing you a lot of good. Oh, you sound impressive, but you suffering with the rest of the folks. So they said, man, why should I listen to you? You in here with me. See, we've got to start changing we've got to start using the tools that he gave us properly. Not so much the way it's been set up. Because the way it's been set up, you learn it, you recite it, and you don't do anything else with it. What you read in here should become part of your core values. So that when all this crazy stuff is going on the screens and on social media, you don't get tricked thinking it's about something else when it's about something else. And then you're able to give wise counsel. Not just, well, I believe and I feel, oh, keep it. Keep it. Because then what I want to ask them, well, what are you basing this on? We don't even incorporate history when we're reading this, and we should. Because history ties it all together. For years, I used to give a guy down the country, used to go here all the time. We'd be going over the scriptures and stuff, and he would be trying to bring in history. I said, man, listen here. But I was wrong. I had called him. I said, man, you know, you were right. And my understanding is just getting better and better and better and better. See, listen, even in the world know how to look back at history. Do you know how they're going to figure out how to try to right this ship? They're going back in history financially. They're looking at the Great Depression. They're looking at what happened in 2008. And they're looking at, and they're comparing what are the factors then and what are they now. That helps them navigate what to do next. Some of the best financial minds. Some of your politicians at least got the good sense to at least ask these guys something about it rather than thinking they got all the answers, because they guessing. It's not their field. Would any of you listen to your dentist how to fix your car? Wouldn't you take it to your mechanic? Or would you listen to your car mechanic about your teeth? No. Then stop doing this. Wake up. And I'm not fussing. I'm just concerned. I really am. Listen to this. When a scorner is punished, the simple become wiser. And when the wise is instructed, he takes hold of knowledge. Folks, the Most High gave you a brain. I didn't say the devil. The Most High gave you that brain that you got. And he gave it to you for a reason. Oh, I use that word reason. He gave us the ability to reason. A dog can't reason. A cat can't reason. Oh, cats, but they dumb. I shouldn't. Cats, something about their, you throw a rock at them, they'll come back. You throw a rock at a dog, he ain't coming back. I'm like, didn't I just wet you up with the water hose? What are you coming back for? No, I'm not mean to all my neighbors' animals. But I don't like when I'm cutting my grass, well, when Edgar's cutting the grass, if he's stepping something, I say, I don't have a dog. I ain't got a cat. Why are these deposits? Oh, let me tell you. This is a true story. I'm going to get back to it. This happened when I was living in Texas. We had just purchased our first home. And I had a neighbor 2 doors down. And he wasn't a very nice person. And he used to let his dog, a little nothing of a mutt, one of those dogs I call, my sister and I, we call some of them worthless. You know, them little cute dudes, can't do nothing. Somebody beat on it, ate them up. But he would let his dog come down on purpose and do his business in my front yard. And I let it go because, I'm a believer. I'm going to Lakewood Church. Yeah. I put up with that for a little while. But then I ain't going to put it on the devil. Barry decided to scoop that stuff up, put it on newspaper, put it on his front porch, rang his doorbell, set it on fire. Yes, I did. Yeah. And I told him, don't do this again. Now, he was mad, but he was wise because he stayed in the house. Now, I know that wasn't the Christian thing to do. Nellie, it was necessary because the reason he did it was because I was the only one that looked like me on that block. There you go. Do what you gotta do. And I would imagine he want to know how I could afford to move there. And I didn't stay there long. We bought a bigger house a couple of years later and moved on, left him there. Saints, I'm trying to share something with you. I'm not advocating getting in a fist fight or anything like that, but I'm going to tell you, part of this awakening, we got to get a little tougher. We got to get a little tougher. As believers, we got to get a little tougher. I'm not talking about putting dog stuff on paper and lighting it up. I'm not talking about that. But if we're going to actually lead people, they need to know we stand for something. We are not pushovers. We are not pushovers. We weren't created for somebody to wipe their feet in our face. We're not. And you're not pleasing the Most High by letting people do that. He's looking at you saying, wait a minute. I mean, you do know Israel went to war many times. They didn't always take it on the chin. And Israel won't always right. Y'all know the story. In fact, they had guys so they was winning all the time. Should we go to war? Should we go to war? I'm paraphrasing because of time. Should we go to war? And the Most High said, yeah, go to war. They got their brains beat out. And they come back, what happened? You usually go, you told us to go to war. He said, yeah. But you start reading your press clippings. You start thinking it was you. And that's what happens to us. See, a lot of us think everything ain't nothing gonna happen to me. Everything gonna be fine because God, I'm the apple of his eye. Well, he got a whole lot of apples. You ain't the only apple of his eye. And if you keep being foolish, you're gonna get hurt. This is not a play game. This is not 20 points because you went to church today. It's not that kind of game. This is real life, folks. I shared with Pastor, I told him, I said, Pastor, let me say something to you. If you leaders think that the solution to this thing is more of what you've been given, I said, you're going to get another pandemic. Did I not say that? And I'm not setting myself, look, I ain't no prophet, okay? Because that's something else I'm looking at. I'm no prophet. No. Folks, we got to wise up. We got to use his wisdom. Because, again, we still got some decisions to make. And what's good for my house might not be good for your house, and vice versa. But people are going to be looking to you, hoping that they can get some idea of what to do. Now, some of us been living lives, people do what they see you do, they do the exact opposite. Y'all missed that. I'm serious. Because some people think we don't have good sense. Oh, I'm sorry. Pastor, will you come? I'm sorry, Reg. I'm sorry. Oh, forgive me. I've run over. I'm sorry. Pastor, will you come? Lord, have mercy.